I got to play. It's a guy that we both like.
There's one that sold for 61 on April 27th. Damn. Free shipping. Hell yeah, man.
It's not the obvious guys that win you your league.
Oh, I'm on the clock. Oh, no, I got auto picked.
Oh, there's one.
Oh, you missed your pick. People start going way off the board here.
That's a steal, babe.
I was clicking the button. This is all messed up now. How do we get so many auto picks? 2, 1.
Nailed it.
One week out from the NFL draft. Times are very exciting. Marvin Harrison Jr. rookie autos are $200 a pop. We're back here to do some live eBay football card buying, what we call smash or pass. I'm your host, Andy Casey. Got my main man, Steve, the eBay hitman, doing some sniping with me tonight. How you doing, Steve?
Feeling pretty good. I'm doing all my last-minute research with the draft coming up, and for anyone doing any best ball drafts, you've maybe been doing your studying already. If not, now's a good time. Best ball big board is almost full, so the big board 2 probably won't open until after the draft, I'm thinking. So feeling good and excited for the next 7 days.
Yeah, before we hop into the smash or pass real quick, you and I talked before this, a little bit of news. J.K. Dobbins signs with the L.A. Chargers, coming off a pretty horrific injury. I mean, this guy's been riddled with lower body injuries, unfortunately, the past couple of years. But, man, his athletic profile is so smoking hot. It's tempting. I've seen an increase in his sold volume. Prices are still low. How do you feel about this move? Is it something that you think we might want to smash on?
Definitely worth a little bit of exposure. Obviously, the risk is there with 2 seasons with significant injuries, but they're not the same injury, thankfully. And he did pass a physical, which is why the Chargers signed him. So you got to feel like he's got a clean bill of health and treat him just about as you would just about anyone else going to the year. So he's in a great landing spot, and he does have the skill set for a 3-down back. So obviously maybe out of the gate he might come out slow, but he's got the workhorse potential. And we've seen guys like Breece Hall come back from big injuries recently and have a massive workload. Javonte Williams, same thing. So this is the age of modern medicine, Andy. And if he's, 80% of the guy he was the last 2 years, I think we got a winner.
Yeah, I think he's definitely worth some exposure to. And if he dodges the draft, I think that's the big unknown question mark that I would love to see. I think his prices are still going to be cheap in like May, June, just because of the injuries. And so if he dodges the draft, that would be really exciting because we know Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball, man. He wants to establish the run. He wants to pound the rock. And so I think that from looking at some of the expert consensus out there, the Chargers are definitely in line to draft a running back in round 2, round 3. Is there a running, and this is going to be exciting, right? I think the Dallas Cowboys are also expected to draft a running back in round 2, round 3. And there's a few guys out there. Is there a running back that has college uniform rookie autos right now that you've got your eye on or that you're thinking about in your research that you think may land on the Dallas Cowboys or the LA Chargers and therefore see a nice little spike in their desirability or their rookie card value?
Blake Corum's a guy that links up with the Chargers quite well. They've been linked to him, and obviously he has to fall to them for that to happen. But he's a guy that's got a nice skill set, and he did go to Michigan as well. So he does have an affiliation with the coach there. So that seems to make a lot of sense. And then, you've got, I believe it's Jonathan Brooks, who's been linked to the Cowboys. And I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but he's the other 1 or 2 consensus running back that is linked to the Cowboys as well, too. But Corum, I think, is the guy that could have the highest potential to go there. I think if they miss on him, maybe they just take a late guy and hope that Dobbins is healthy enough. But Corum would be the guy I'd be thinking about.
Yeah, I was noticing Blake Corum's strength, his ability to generate some yards after contact, pretty impressive, really high agility score. The question is, what are the Blake Corum rookie auto prices like right now? And I know that they're fairly favorable. You know, the selections are limited. So you're really talking about Bowman Chrome University first autos or Bowman's best rookie autos, that kind of thing. And he does have those available, which is nice. So I like that ability. He's actually, you know, being from Michigan, playing on Michigan, his prices are pretty decent already. I'm looking at even the non-first ones selling for $20 to $30 already, Steve. And the first ones are selling for considerably more than that, and they're much harder to find. Like here's a first refractor PSA 9 that sold for $150 last week.
You know, here's the crazy thing, and you know, it's kind of part of the cycle we go through every year, especially with the draft being so close, is the hype for some of these guys, Andy, will never be higher than it is right now. And they don't all pan out at the pro level, which is why you're seeing $150 auto for a college running back when you could go find like a T. Higgins rookie ticket auto for like $75. You know what I mean? For like half the price for a guy that's a superstar in the league already. So definitely take that into consideration too. You're paying crack prices for these guys right now because the hype is super, super high.
So let me, before I pull up the guy that I think may possibly land on the Chargers because of draft value, you got to think, you know, Dallas could get Blake Corum. There's some interesting landing spots out there. You also have a lot of guys after Jonathan Brooks. You mentioned Trey Benson. And then the other guy is Braylon Allen, who's actually incredibly young. If you look at his athletic profile here, he's just 20 years old. And I know some guys said like he couldn't catch the ball very well, but towards the end of his college career, he actually showed some decent receiving chops. And there's a lot of promise there. He's incredibly young, but look at the size and the athleticism. He didn't test here, so I don't have like the 40-yard dash and stuff like that. But once again, we see the strength marker there, 6'1", 235. So the size and the age is, I think, very enticing for a guy that's just going to want to pound the rock. And then I go and look at his Bowman University first autos, and I'm like, man, if this guy lands on Dallas or the Chargers, $16.50 Bowman first rookie auto is going to go up, right, Steve?
Yeah. And a lot of boards have him ranked lower than I think his actual potential is. So that does present its opportunity, especially when you look at the price between him and Corum. The other thing to think about is he went to Wisconsin. So what's a team that is in Wisconsin, Andy, that does have a bit of an aging running back at their starting position? The Packers. There's a lot of teams that could be in the market for his skills, and you know, maybe just throw him in a timeshare right away. He's very young, and they could build up his passing ability a little bit more in an offense that's already elite, in my opinion.
There you go. I mean, that's another great landing spot. I love the huge fan base there, and you kind of step in, and you're like, man, no more Aaron Jones, and AJ Dillon has just been totally lackluster the past few years. So you feel like this guy could step in and just dominate, especially with all those offensive weapons that Green Bay has, and the fact that Matt LaFleur really opened up the playbook towards the end of the season, and Jordan Love was airing it out. And you know, the defense doesn't really, on paper, doesn't look like it's getting a whole lot better. And we know the unit is so young. So I think that's very exciting. The NFC North, you know, with the Bears likely adding Caleb Williams at the number 1 overall pick, you know, there could be more fireworks in the NFC North this year. We know that the Vikings may be adding a new quarterback as well. There's a ton of speculation actually around the Vikings, and they brought in Sam Darnold. They're probably going to draft one as well and let them duke it out. and then you guys are drafting Caleb Williams, and then you got the Detroit Lions, who are already like this super explosive offense that are going to put up a ton of points that retain their OC. And the Packers, who putting up a ton of points with Jordan Love opening up that playbook. So, I mean, it's exciting, man, for the NFC North in 2024. I think that could work out really well.
I know that it's a polarizing opinion, but even a guy like Frank Gore Jr., who, again, not a top running back prospect, but he does have a bit of what you'd call a NFL skill set, especially because he's a great receiver. Could end up on a team like the 49ers, which would be a lot of hype because his dad played for the Niners, and they're a playoff probable team. And, McCaffrey's not old, but he isn't young either. And I think a guy like Gore could slide in as his backup right away.
All right. Before we get into, guys, because we're about to get into some smash or pass lightning round here on eBay, where we're going to get risque tonight. We're getting risque, backed by popular demand. It was so much fun last week, and I found out I ended up winning a few of those auctions last week. The mail didn't come today, so can't open it here today, but maybe next time. So definitely subscribe for that. But let me say what's up to some guys in the chat. We're going to get in some smash or pass on eBay. You'll see the search parameters. I also have a couple cards that I found. I was playing it by myself before we got on here, Steve, and I found a couple cards that I just barely missed out on because I didn't have time to bid, but I thought they were cool, so I saved them, and I think there's a couple teaching lessons around them. But I want to say what's up to the chat. Late Stick, you were first, man. OG Late Stick was first. Gabe, BBM5 opens day after the draft. Let's go. Gabe Davis, let's go. Play a free in the house. We're definitely going to be gassing up that underdog account and drafting Best Ball Mania teams all summer long. Looking forward to that. We're getting in a draft later tonight as well, guys. So we're getting in one final big board draft. Hopefully they haven't filled up. We're going to be getting one of those in a little bit later on in the stream. Craig, we're glad you got to make it from the start, man. That's awesome. LeVar dropping the first question in the chat here, so we'll go ahead and hit it. Curious if you guys think Prism prices will take a hit when Optic and Select are finally out. Notice 2022 Prism seems to be a lot lower priced compared to this year. Even top guys like Garrett Brees. Steve, you want to take this one first?
Yeah. I think it's more to do with the hyper relevancy of the player being still rookie, if you will. The new draft hasn't happened yet, so those guys are still the rookie class in the NFL versus the prior year. So, I mean, that's just going to be a naturally occurring theme. Newest set has two things built into it. It's the newest set. It's what everyone's trying to buy actively. And then in addition to that, the newest class, which is going to have some of its highest prices right away, and then even the year after, and then progressively teeter down unless those guys really hit. So this is why I always emphasize, especially around draft time, start looking at last year's guys, start looking at the guys from the class before, because as you see college autos going for $100, $150, unless those guys really, 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 really do well and are the next big thing, most likely going to take a massive dive.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, man. It's got to regress a little bit back to the mean for what you see out of 2020, 21, 22. And, you know, it's a great set. It looks great. It's going to hold good long term. You know, it's especially the highly graded cards, the ones that are in good condition, especially for great players. But naturally, once Optic and Select and Contenders, massive checklist. Like I was looking up Dontavian Wicks, and he's got like no cards. And so you really like you're buying Leaf stuff of him still, and he's played an entire season. So
yeah.
You know, it's like we're still waiting for more sets to be released. Unfortunately, Panini has really dragged it out this year. I think more so in years past, and maybe that had something to do with the whole Fanatics thing and the NFLPA. But eventually they're coming in, and it will, you know, normalize. I think probably, Steve, if we had to like guess based on what we've seen the past couple of years, is that's not going to normalize until like September or October of this year. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. So
yeah, and sets are still coming out even after this draft, for the previous year. And that's, I think either they know something we don't. Obviously, those products typically sell. But what it does for a lot of people that aren't following every release date is create a bit of confusion about who's actually in that product. If you have a product that comes out that's new after the draft, someone may think that that's the new rookie class, but it's actually the last year's rookie class, which, like I said, unless you're on top of all the release dates, you may be completely confused about what guys you're trying to pull out of there.
Yeah, just subscribe to the channel, tune into our streams or listen to it on Spotify, and we'll keep you up to date on all that stuff as it changes. Very fluid, and it's another layer of complexity that we do take into consideration when we're evaluating whether or not certain guys' cards are buys or not. But I got to say what's up here to Filthy. He said, please, no AJ Brown trade to the Pats on time. That would be the end of Filthy right there, man. He would just go walk off a cliff if that happened.
They better get something real good for that.
Yeah. James, Chargers ain't picking it early RB anymore. James also said our lads already has JK listed as their lead back. I think he's definitely going to be right now projected as their lead back until we get through the draft. Jim B says Dobbins sounds like a preview to tomorrow's article. I do write an article that comes out every Friday morning. J.K. Dobbins is not it, though. I will tell you. I got something a little spicier for you guys planned for tomorrow morning that I'm very bullish on. So I'm excited about that. We got Ryan Todd in the house, Mr. T. See who else we got out there. Joel Kaplan, Travis House. He said Prism looks really good. This and Optic not so much. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah, I'm interested. I looked at the artist proofs for Optic, Steve, but it's basically the same thing as Donruss, just chrome finish, Yeah,
and they just keep on piling the parallels on, which is fine. I mean, people like that stuff, but the Prism is always going to probably be the top go-to card, with Optic not too far behind, but the hollows are always nice, and they're going to be like probably second in command as far as liquidity goes.
Wow, that's really cool. Ronald has a hot take here. I don't know if there's truth to this. Ronald, I've never seen you comment in the chat before. I don't know if you're a hobby content creator or how who you got this information from, but the rumor is, according to Ronald Bobbitt, that Optic was pushed back to let CJ Stroud sign for Optic, meaning I think he means that there's going to be Optic rated rookie autograph cards by CJ Stroud in the set, which would be freaking huge.
Yeah, I mean, that would drive the product price way, way up. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that info.
Mr. T, appreciate the super chat, man. Really appreciate that, brother. He says, plant your flag. Who's the breakout backup QB this season? To be specific, he put in there Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, other. Joe Garza says Sam Howell on the Seattle Seahawks behind Geno Smith, and some people are definitely buying that. What do you think, Steve?
Ooh, that's a good one. Howell, if he gets a chance, will definitely be interesting. I mean, he's got tons of weapons up there, but I think that the thing about this list is some of those guys may not even be backups, depending on what happens. Is Field every week there's a new rumor that, oh, well, he actually might just start as the starting quarterback this season, and that Russ might get cut or benched or whatever. Darnold, at least for now, is a starter. Will he remain that way? Hard to say. But he definitely has upside potential, especially with elite weapons like that. Gabe says Jameis Winston. I am a truther of Jameis Winston. I wish that he had more opportunities, especially with the receivers that the Browns have. Winston could be, just a hair better with a little more mobility than Joe Flacco. And and all the throwing power. So yeah, Winston
Yeah,
I
man.
like for sure.
And all those
And
Browns
Darnold,
weapons.
you can get Darnold for way less, way less than half the price you can get Fields for. Speaking in terms of best ball drafts, anyway, and he legitimately might be a starting quarterback this year. So if you're holding on to some Darnolds, hold on just a little bit longer.
Those are some really solid backup quarterback picks. Just don't. In my only recommendation would be to just not invest your entire or a significant portion of your bankroll on the backup quarterbacks, because obviously there's a decent chance they don't even start. But as we've seen this past year, there were 14 different backup quarterbacks that made a significant impact, whether they were rookies, whether they were second, third year guys that nobody had seen before that made an impact, that all spiked in value at one point or another. So yeah, it makes some sense to have some exposure to backups for sure.
Yeah,
Steve?
Don't go too crazy. Don't go too crazy. But if there's Andy's always talking about hedging your bets. If you're sitting on a stockpile of QBA and his backup is a guy that you like and is relatively inexpensive, buy some field level silvers for $3 to $5. And if he ends up starting, you've now got something that's worth 2, 3, 4, 8 times potentially. You saw that with the Mike White thing where, $2 cards were $30 cards overnight. So the backup game is a massive gamble, but when it does hit, it hits really nice.
The upside's there. Have you seen these Monsters of the Midway cards before?
I have not.
These are pretty cool, man. So I looked at the bag. This is actually a Panini card. 2023 Panini Chicago Bears Football Club. Like, they actually made a set of cards just for the Bears here in 2023. I haven't looked up on Cardboard Connection like the actual set information or the checklist, but look, it has like a checklist that it came with here, so you can see the guys that you can potentially get. I thought they were cool looking cards, and for a Chicago Bears collector, I thought they were pretty neat, like very much like a comic book feel to them. And nobody bid on them. I caught the auction with just 2 seconds left, but $12 here.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I think maybe just because of the 2 players. If you looked at the checklist, you had like DJ Moore and Justin Fields and some of the other big names, superstars on the team. So I think that the guy may have scared some people off with the price point, but pretty cool. I mean, if you PC Bears stuff, that's pretty cool, honestly. I've never seen those before.
Yeah, check out. I don't know. I mean, they seemed interesting. They look like authentic Panini cards, but I would have to cross-reference that with, if somebody in the chat confirmed for us or go to Cardboard Connection or Trading Card Database, you could. But I thought that was neat, so I wanted to shout that out. And then, Steve, I came across this listing right here for CJ Stroud. I'm like, first of all, this photography is terrible. Like, I know, like the guy was focused, in like the middle of the cards, and the outside's kind of blurred. And these are literally the pictures that you get. So much reflection inside the top loader, and you get like no clarity on the cards. So I was like, man, that was really bad for him as a seller. And the auction ended at just $12.33, Steve. I know it's just a base mosaic and a base Panini or a base Phoenix, but do you think this was a smash or pass?
That's probably a buy. I bet you could have got those individually for that price. They probably go for more than that individually. So I think the guy definitely hurt himself. In my experience, it's a learning process. Typically selling 2 cards in the same auction, even if they're titled appropriately, you typically don't get your top dollar that way.
Yeah, you don't get your top dollar, and then just the photograph has got to be better, man. That's pretty bad. So there's one more card I wanted to highlight before we just dive into the deep waters here. and see what we can get. So see what kind of trouble we can get into here. These introductions from Absolutes had me cracking up. So I found this one here for Quentin, none other than Quentin Johnson. As you know, and everybody else out there, probably my least favorite first round wide, definitely my least favorite first round wide receiver, but maybe one of my least favorite wide receivers from the draft last year. And here he is in Absolute Introductions, sitting on the bench with the slogan at the bottom, "The time is now, rookie ready to make a splash." I'm like, dude, this card's got me cracking up. And of course, nobody bid on it. Nobody bought it.
Yeah.
But have you seen these?
I have not. And it seems like a pretty cool premise, but maybe a little bit of predictive programming there with him sitting on the bench, as he did not do very well his rookie year. But kind of odd too to have like a card where you don't see the player's face or anything either.
Yeah, I wonder what the scare. I would love if Ronald's got this card. That's cool. Let me know, Ronald, how if you've been in a lot of Absolute breaks, if you've watched a lot of Absolute being broken on whatever platform, YouTube, wherever. Let me know, how rare is this card? Does this card have any scarcity to it at all, or is there multiple introductions coming out of every single hobby box? Like, I'm really curious to see how rare, because I also found this one here, Steve, which I thought was really cool. I almost bought it because I liked it. It was this Jordan Addison, man of many skills, bringing some versatility. We know he can drive fast. Apparently he can throw a football too. I throw a little rib there for the wide receivers who can't seem to curb their speeding desires. But yeah, these are 2023 NFLPA rookie premiere photos that I think are like just really cool because they're actual photos. It's like not you get so many Photoshop cards these days and pictures that don't have, like, you can't place the game they were in, that kind of thing. And you can see little Deuce Vaughn there in the background. And it's like, man, this is a cool picture.
Yeah, no, that is pretty cool. Just kind of like in the moment. Definitely better than sitting on the bench with your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good find. That's a good find.
Yeah, so yeah, they ended for 79 cents. Like I caught the auction so late. So yeah, I didn't quite get into it. All right. Now let's get into so I've got some filters applied here, but this is risque, Steve. You just type in football cards in the eBay search box and you hit enter. You got to have some filters applied. So I do have like 19 different filters applied. The one, because it was a little crazy, like the Wild Wild West earlier. But the one I do have applied is rookie. So I'm only looking at rookie cards, guys. I know some of you veteran rare card targeters, took that out of the consideration here, even though we'll still get some. And then I have all these seasons checked from 2012 to present, took out the vintage stuff, took out the really old stuff, although Aaron Rodgers would be interesting. Maybe put 2005 back in there. But and it goes quick, so you kind of have to get out a little bit. As you see, like 3, 2, 1, they're like a lot of them are ending right now. So let's scroll down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll start right here. That's not a rookie card. I'm gonna pass on that. First impressions RPA true 1 of 1. Jahmyr Gibbs from Illusions, $500. Steve, 20 seconds left. Smash or pass?
Yeah, I'm passing on that one. A little too pricey.
Nobody's bidding on it. It's too high. Yeah, it's a little bit too high because, I mean, for a 1 of 1, like I'm like, there's a lot nicer 1 of 1s out there than that.
It's the kind of card that if he just keeps listing it, he'll eventually get a single bid for 500, but it might take months,
All right, I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit to buy us some more time here because they're ending so fast. All right. Rashi Rice never. We'll just go past that one. Puka Nacua Zenith 2023 Zoom SP rookie card case hit. This one's got some competition. 30 seconds left. I have not seen this card either, but I like the kaboom feel to it. $154 right now, Steve. 22 bids. People are after it. Smash or pass.
That's got room to grow still.
It's an acetate card. So you see that? It's actually a clear card. It's acetate finish. So these are known to have some surface issues, but you got a pretty good reliability on the corners and edges. Is it going to go up at all? 190. It went up 190. The one thing I don't like about that card, and look, there's a bunch of other ones.
What did it actually finish at?
190 50. Where's the rookie card logo? They decided not to do it.
Interesting.
No rookie card logo.
And that's the thing is, he with his being a later round pick, he's in a few sets, but he's not in a lot of inserts. So that's pretty cool.
Let's refresh. We got some fresh 2 minutes out here. Fresh 2 minutes out. KJ Henry. Okay, here we go. Prism Green, Neon Green Pulsar SGC 9.5. 1 minute left. Currently $56. Steve. No serial number. Smash or pass?
At that price, I would be in, but I think that it's going to go for a bit more. I haven't been tracking him nearly as much as some of the other players, but I think it'd go up. I think it's got to probably end maybe at least 75.
Joel can't do the off center. He says pass on that
off center, but it's got the grade. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, I can't do that color on.
Well, you know what? Pop it open in a new tab. I want to see what it ends at least. Now that we're talking.
Okay. Well, yeah, we got it on a new tab right here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we got a little bit of a buffer here. 30 seconds. Stop me if you see one that you wanna smash on. What about this Phoenix Bryce Young Contours card? It does have a bid, $299. This is a weird looking card here.
I will say I think those are nice looking, but I keep seeing them all over the place for not that much money. So I don't think that they're necessarily hard to come by.
Yeah, that's no bueno. No serial number and not hard to come by. That's a recipe for not going up in value. Plus, it's already Phoenix, so it's not like a top-ranked set. Chris Olave, that's not a rookie card. Yeah, wild card, Michael Strachan. Tutu Atwell, nobody's bidding on that. Tutu Atwell, rookie ticket auto.
Not at $9. I mean, it would be a decent buy for like $5, but
somebody's trying to get him a 2 Marvin Mims base Obsidian lot here for $1, $2 out the door.
Not terrible, but not for me.
I got to refresh. We kind of got
the timer got us there.
The timer caught up to us. Jake Hayner Spectra base, no, $3.50. Pass. What about this Anthony Richardson gold standard serial numbered out of 24, 17 out of 24? Advertised as a case hit, but out of 24, I guess that could be a case hit, but that's just a.
I mean, there's serial numbered downtowns, so.
It does have a rookie card logo. It's got the gold. It's from the gold set.
Is it me or is it the coloring on the top left corner? It looks a bit rounded from the front.
If he gave pictures of every corner except for that one, no, he did. I mean, it's a little blurry. It looks sharp, but there did look like there was this bottom corner right here. Looks a little, and gold standard is like a pretty thick card stock.
That's definitely got potential. If it's in fact the case hit for sure. I like Anthony Richardson. I think that he's got an amazing skill set, but I've been hesitant to buy in at these prices because right now he's been injured more than he's played. You know.
Joel's saying smash on this one. He says soft left corner. I think I would pass. I think I would pass on the Eldorado. Let's see. Oh, Justin Herbert rookie. That's a PSA 9 though. Prism base prism for $100.
That was a 10. Yeah, no, not out of 9.
All right. We got a little bit of an interesting one here. People thought Patrick Mahomes. He's obviously the guy you look at to say like overall market health. Well, he's more expensive than ever, Steve. Let me tell you. I've looked at his cards the past couple weeks. He's more expensive now than he was when he won the Super Bowl. That kind of tells you what the market's been doing over the past month and a half, 2 months. All right, we got a base Donruss PSA 9, Steve. Currently $315. A rated rookie, Patrick Mahomes. Ends in 1 minute. It's got 19 bids. Smash or pass?
I'm passing, man. I'm passing.
$315. That is the most expensive base Donruss rated rookie I've ever seen in my life.
Look at it in perspective. If you're buying it because you like it, whatever. But if you're buying it for the potential to flip it and potentially make some money off it, think of how many Joe Burrow PSA 9 prisms you could buy for that same price. Think that your odds of probably buying 8 of them, your odds of making a substantial amount on your investment are way higher than this card that we historically see tank throughout the year and then go up in the offseason after they win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, buy Mahomes in October, early November. You might be able to get this card for under $200.
Mm-hmm.
You think it goes up at all? No,
it was so
it was capped. Already. Yeah, that was.
What did that Richardson the green one go for?
Richardson Green is right here. I think it's this one. Oh no, it was this one right here.
Oh,
56.
Okay.
Ended right on the spot.
I mean, it tells you how far behind CJ Stroud he is in prices, because the Strouds are just out of control as far as price goes.
All right, let me refresh. Let's refresh. Let's see. Bijan Robinson base prism for a couple bucks, $1.39 right now.
Definitely on that one.
Cedric Tillman, Fire and Ice. How much would you pay up for the base prism Bijan?
Just quick look at the condition. I'd probably be about like $4 or $5.
$4 or $5.
It is a little off center to the left, but not bad.
Yeah. And is that a print line, or is that just part of the top loader or the scanner
that DC Sports uses?
Okay. Yeah, it's just a tiny touch off center.
People are drafting him in we talk about the relationship between fantasy and card values. He's being drafted in some cases as the second pick in a lot of the best ball drafts. And Andy, I know my best ball drafts, unlike last year where I was just getting started, I've done over 50 this year already. So
wow,
he's going very early in the top 5 most of the time, and in the top 2 on occasion.
And so that base prism for him it's in PSA 10 condition. Is that I don't know. I'd have to look up. Is that like $50?
That is a great question. I think that makes for a good opportunity to pop into the Keep 'em app and do a little recon.
It sure does. Let's see.
Ooh, man, that mosaic silver looks nice.
Yeah, looks like a lot of his okay, it's a score. So you can see, I think somebody was
third row down,
asking that question about how those cards drop value over time.
$70.
Yeah, $50, $60 buy now. You see how they have gone down a little bit.
Look at the variance though, Andy.
Yeah. From March 13th to today, they've actually been going down a little bit.
Yeah, with no rhyme or reason. So if you're hanging on to that card, don't fire sale it. But I will like to point out something. That pop count, though. Pop count. We talked about quality control when you asked me what I thought about 2023 Prism, and there's no greater indicator than that grade rate of 19%.
Wow, 19%. So that tells you really do want to just get your hands on a PSA 10. All the raw ones you're looking at, I mean, you've got an 80% chance that it's going to be a 9 or worse.
Out of curiosity, Andy, what is the silver version grade rate, and what is the mosaic silver grade rate? Because look at that actual price difference. Look at 70.
Yeah, it could be, he's a running back, so people are submitting the silver more frequently than the base. They've submitted more. But the grade rate is still low, only 22% raw to PSA 10.
Yeah, that to me, if you're believing in a breakout this year, that to me says that's a buy.
Yeah, and people love the variation silver as well this year.
Look at 13%. Obviously, a smaller sample size.
Well, I was looking at the 8s.
Oh, okay.
It's 47% for the 10s.
Still not a big number, but in my opinion, that actually only tells me that more people are submitting that card.
All right, let's see. There's a Puka Nacua orange laser.
I might be a bit biased here, but I would buy it. The bases until recently, Andy, were going for like $20-25.
This one looks to be well centered, and yeah, pretty well centered on the back. Definitely well centered on the front. $27 right now on 8 bids. Ends in 30 seconds. What are you paying up? What are you bidding up to then on that, Steve?
Maybe like $30 to $32. So close to where it's at right now. I think that's probably pretty close. I've been trying to find one on eBay for like 25, but the ones that are like $25 are super off center.
You got a 56% raw to PSA 10 hit rate on that card, and a very healthy population. You can see these have been transacting like crazy. 52 sales on the past 6 months on the 10. We probably missed it.
Would it finish it?
It ended at $30.
Not bad. Especially
you could definitely grind out a profit on that.
Right? He's definitely, with for whatever reason, a polarizing opinion on him going into this year. I mean, the guy literally broke multiple rookie receiving records, so you got to feel pretty good about that card at $30.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We got a couple more here. See if anything catches your eye. Aiden Hutchinson.
Auto. Although is it silver or not? I can't tell. I think that's probably like, I don't know if that authentication is worth anything to you. I think that's just the base prism with the sticker on it.
Yeah, base prism with a sticker auto.
I think that those typically go for around $50-$55. So if the encapsulation means something to you, it's a buy.
The buy now price of $80. It doesn't have any bids on it at $60. And Aiden Hutchinson is a very highly searched player. I've noticed a lot of his rookie autos go for some significant money.
I gotta share this one with you, Andy. And I've been trying to win it. It does end in 6 minutes, but I don't know what the reserve is. But it keeps getting relisted every week because no one's hitting the reserve. But I mean, just a sweet card, man. Let me share this with you here.
Ronald Bobbitt said Puka is going on.
There's about 5-6 minutes left on it that I just shared.
Okay. Let me see. All right. Nice. Select that card. See, tie-dye. Yeah, so what's the reserve? How do we figure out what the reserve is? We guess we don't.
No way to know. Sometimes you can message the buyer or seller and they'll tell you, but a lot of times they won't. I don't know.
You've won this. You've won this auction before, but didn't win it because the reserve wasn't met.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So if I had to guess, it's probably like 125. I don't know what the comps on these are. I know that the base probably go for like 35 to 50. But you're talking about numbered out of 25, so very scarce.
Mark, what's up, man? He said Josh Allen PSA 10 optic hollow ending in an hour. You guys in and how high? I would be in for the right price. He said, but I think he's saying at 800 currently. Let's check. We're actually talking about Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson the other day because Lamar Jackson like a third of Josh Allen here, but the optic hollow, yeah, I mean at 800, obviously very safe. Look at what he was back in the playoffs, $1,200 buy it now. So yeah, you had multiple ones of those too. I mean, like at the end of the year, playoffs. I think the Bills are definitely a safe team to bet on, like at least making a wild card or a playoff appearance of some kind. Josh Allen, obviously in the prime of his career, I think the Bills definitely have to draft a wide receiver. But Josh Allen is Josh Allen, man. He's Superman out there. So
here's a stat for you, Andy. This is
yeah.
This is mind-boggling, actually. So if you go back to October, there was 2 that sold for around 500. Okay. And if you fast forward to December and then April these are going back to 2021. Let me get a little more current here. Okay. So April of 2023, a year ago, the optic hollow Josh Allen sold for 1,200. The most recent sale was on My Slabs for 750. So we can obviously see where the upside on that card is, like literally twice or more than twice that current price. So interesting.
Yeah, it's 800 safe. I think 800 safe, but you're not at the bottom of his market, I guess is what you're trying to say. You're not at the true.
The 400. I went back. The 400 is actually in 2021.
Okay.
So
look, I have like a $750 buy now.
Yeah, that was the one I was just telling you about. But the 2 before that were 1,200 and 990, and the 2 before that were 1,380 and 1,470.
Okay, so cards really held on pretty well. So I mean, yeah, look at $670 auction back November 19th, and that was the low point. So if you don't want to wait, I would just definitely try and get it as close as you can to the 800. But I guess I wouldn't go over. I wouldn't go over like 850.
You know, Joel said that the Bills defense will be hurting. I mean, honestly, if you're trying to get offensive stats, that's what you want. Your offense will be on the field more. If you go back to, Drew Brees' early Saints career, I mean, they were the worst defense in the league. He was putting 30, 40 fantasy points up a week because of the fact he was on the field constantly. Bills need wide receiver help now. They're going to draft somebody, but
yeah, they do. They absolutely do. All right, so one final round of Smash or Pass, Steve, and then we got to hop into an underdog best ball draft. Get our draft picks on here for the folks. Ooh, but this one is a spicy one, Steve. 4 minutes left. Hank Dell, Red Sparkle Prism. I know this one's pulling at Joel Garza's heartstrings.
I know that those are pretty scarce, and I don't really follow Tank Dell's prices that much. But just if I had to make an educated guess, I'm thinking it probably goes for 100 plus. Or
the back centering on this is perfect.
It is.
The front centering is
actually not bad.
Perfect.
It's not 50-50, but it's maybe 55-45 or 60-40.
So Smash or Pass at 63 right now.
I'm a bit skeptical about the role with Diggs being there and how healthy he's going to be, but there is going to be a buyer for that card. So at that price, I would smash.
We're gonna place a bid on this one. What do you think we should bid in?
69.
69. Yeah, it's a that's a sweet color match. Oh, we got outbid like instantly.
His cards are still super hot, even with the signing of Diggs. So, like I said, without even doing any research, I think it's pretty safe to say it goes for around or above 100.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. I'd be all in on that card under like $70, honestly. Zay Flowers Mosaic debut not getting any love.
Musgrave.
Pacheco base prism not $10 not getting any love.
It's not on the list here, but I've been trying to get some Luke Musgrave. I bid on a green cracked ice, and it said that I won, but when it refreshed, I lost. So somebody must have had one of those bidding tools.
Pour some out for Eno Benjamin. He had his moment in the sun.
Injuries got that guy. Hey, go back up. Was that a gold? Is that a gold?
Gold what? Jahan Dotson?
Oh, it's out of 25. Okay. I thought it was out of 10. If that was out of 10, I would say yeah, but
it's still only $5.
That's true. And it has an offer button. Is there enough time?
03 out of 25.
You know,
$5
for $350. Even if it resets, he'll still be able to get the
It's off center on the back, but I mean it's not a card you would really regrade. Can you I gotta think that you could make it look better than that. I can't even see the stars. But this is one of the problems I think with these foil finish cards. It's not a true chrome stock card. You know, Absolute's on that thin paper card stock. I'm also seeing what maybe a soft corner.
That looks like a lighting issue.
Capital Card Vaults. Yeah, he's only got one thing.
Help him.
Gabe noticed he's got one thing. That's a little.
That's an Optic Contenders rookie ticket. Oh, okay. I'm still sitting on my Burks. I still got faith, man. I still got faith.
Let's talk.
Ooh. Okay.
Rookie fire starter Sam Howell got 11 bids out of 50.
This is where the threshold for risk comes into play. I'm a little more of a lower risk guy. I like to use data and my own intuition. But if you think Sam Howell starts some games this year, that's a great play at that price.
What's so it's currently at $30. It's out of 50. It's got what appears to be an on-card rookie auto. It's out of Impeccable here. It's actually a pretty cool card. I don't see a whole lot of these.
And not as much whiting as you'd expect from an Impeccable card with a dark border.
Yeah. What do you think is the safe max bid on this? You guys want in?
I would write it down to the thread hole there. If it's still where it's at with like 30 seconds left, maybe go like 34 and change or something. Auto on top looks funny. Yeah, I would agree.
That one's super tempting. Got a couple of CJ Strouds. A Goodwin champion CJ Stroud.
Does it have an auto or no? No, it doesn't.
No.
Oh, it does have an auto.
Wait, the Tank Dell RPA?
Oh, look at that JMO though. Man, that's already getting up there. You know, Andy, I've been patiently sitting on my JMO I bought at the National, man. If he gets that starting role this year, watch out, man.
Any interest in Tyreek Hill base optic?
Wow, it's 12.
Rookie. $12.50.
It's probably about a $20 card if I had to guess.
Yeah. I would pass on the Jameson Williams. Oh, it's not. I'm just not into the those metal plate cards. The Tank Dell from Obsidian is pretty cool. But man, you're right. He's gonna get. I'm guessing that card's gonna climb up over 100 too.
Yeah.
Especially with that
Maybe
10
tab
out of
it out
10.
so we can keep an eye on it.
We'll keep an eye on it.
McCaffrey.
Ooh,
Is that a base?
Yeah,
It's
you got a base optic Christian McCaffrey. It's one of the rare times you get excited about a base optic. You Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey.
Let's see, apparently there's an Hawkinson ending.
All right. So I am going to hop over to underdogfantasy.com. But first, Steve, I just want to shout out nooffseason.com sports card. If you guys like this content and are looking for more, you have to check out the Sports Card Strategy Show and nooffseason.com because Paul Hickey over there, he's doing daily content covering market reports for all sports, not just football, guys. Check him out at youtube.com/Paul Hickey and nooffseason.com. And Steve, I got to ask you, are you ready to start grading your cards?
I am, man. I am.
Well, that's great, man, because CGC Cards is the perfect place to slab your favorite football cards. From their crystal clear holders to their affordable pricing, CGC Cards is the perfect stop for your grading needs. Go to cgccards.com to start grading today. And look at Jason Mann coming in.
Truth.
I appreciate you, brother. He said CGC is best. I love him, man. I love it. I'm getting ready to submit a bunch of my PC cards to them as well because I love the quality of plastic they use and the consistency and kind of that they use a consistent grading process each time. And they'll even like clean your card off for you. They take very good care of it. They have like a whole graders college university where they're training their guys at, and their process is awesome. So check it out, guys. All right. Now we hop over.
I was going to say, I know we brought it up before, but we did a submission many moons ago. What was it? Almost a year and a half ago now with them. And very pleased, man. I was very pleased. And actually the look of the slab has definitely grown on me too. So I think a lot of people are just so used to what's been in front of them the whole time. And the more you look at these slabs, you're going to realize that they actually are dope looking, and the quality of them is really high.
When you get one in your hands, and you're going to feel great about your card being it. And the sold data is getting better and better as more and more cards get graded with them. The sold data coming back is getting better and better. People definitely respect them right alongside of PSA and other major grading companies because they're backed by the largest coin and paper grading company as well as comic book grading as well. So it's like they may have just started grading sports cards in 2021, but they've been grading overall for a long time. They do a really good job at it. Steve, are you ready for Underdog Fantasy?
Yeah, man. I'm hoping that there's still some openings because I know that it was almost full last night.
Yeah, let's see if it's still full. All right, we're hopping on to underdogfantasy.com. We also have promo code here. Promo code QUEST gets new users an instant 100% deposit bonus up to $100. You can draft with us. You don't have to worry about any start-sit decisions during the season. They're going to automatically optimize that roster for you at the end every week. At the end of every week, and so it's just have fun in the draft and maybe win a bunch of money by the end of the season. Steve's been crushing it. Gabe Davis crushing it. Late Sticks crushing it. Big board or bust. Here we go. Are we doing big board or little board, guys? Doing a $10 or $3 draft?
We're going to have to do big board, Andy. I'm maxed out on little board.
Oh, you're maxed out on little? All right, guys. Big board or bust. Late Sticks said it. 97 point.
Oh, wait.
Here we go. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, so I'm going to count down from 5. I go ahead and click enter now, but I'm going to wait on this yes button. I'm going to count down from 5. When I say go, after 1, go, that's when I click yes. All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, that thing filled pretty quick, man.
Oh, man.
That filled super quick. Hopefully, I wasn't like the last guy in here. If it is, I'll do it. No, I'll just put this thing on auto draft. You guys know I'm good at auto drafting.
All right, Andy, I see you in here.
Yeah, you and I got in here, but with the delay, I don't think any of the other guys got in here. I don't know. Nope.
And
Yeah,
I actually waited a little bit too after you said go to make sure we tried to sync up with everybody.
I missed. Do you guys want to try again? Or do you guys want me to proceed with this draft? I got the 1.1. So this is oh, so these guys are in one that has more slots open. So if I go back to the drafts,
can you do more than one at a time?
Yeah.
All right.
Hurry up. I'm going.
Right,
I'm going. Click. I'm in. Yeah. We got spots open. Come on in, fellas. Come on in, Steve. I got that 1.1 spot locked up on auto draft. I put the Gabe Davis cheat code in. I said, pick the 1.1 roster. Gabe Davis.
It's doing that weird thing where it says it can't detect my location again. So I'm going to have to hop on my phone.
I'm in. So wait, how did it not do it on the last draft, but now it's doing it on this one?
Dude, I don't know.
What? That's so weird. Well, Jason's got to go fix a leak. Service call for a Babbitt.
Later, brother, man.
Babbitt. I'll have to watch this later. Peace. All right, Jason, you take care, brother. Yeah, catch up the rest of the stream later. We're going to be bouncing back and forth at eBay, having some fun here in this draft.
I'm trying to pop onto the app real quick.
Gabe says it does happen to him at time to time, too. The location.
It's so weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally in the other draft.
Yeah, that's weird. We got 4 spots open here, guys. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code QUEST. Let's get your draft on. I mean, by the time you get ready for your home league, your family and friends league in August, and you've been doing underdog drafts all summer, you're going to be so dialed in, so sharp. You're going to crush it. Steve, I don't know if it played a role, but I won 3. I won 3 out of 7 of my season-long fantasy leagues last year. Now, I got lucky in there, but, winning those, like doing these drafts definitely helped me in those, Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're sharpening your overall awareness and just kind of having an idea of, where guys are going to fall. If you pass on a guy that you think might fall to you the next round, like you will generally have an idea if that's realistic or not.
All right, let's see what we got in here. Okay, KM Novak, Franz, late stick, there he is, number 3. Derek DBO 68, number 4. Filthy at number 5. Look at that lineup right there. The gauntlet. Marker Tassel at the 6. Z-Treg 7. There's Hitman at the number 8. Scaldesi. Tony Dickboy, what's good, man? I know Tony Dickboy. He's on the quest. He's lurking out there. He's in the draft, though. That's cool. It's good to see you, man. The Dynasty at 10. Brundeezy 9 at 11. Oh, I got the 1.12. Okay, I'm going to have to be on my game here. I got 2 picks back-to-back.
This will be my first time double boxing draft, so it could, if both my picks come up at the same time, could be interesting.
Oh, you're actually trying to make intentional picks in the other draft.
Yeah, I'll keep you up to date on who you end up with.
Okay.
Obviously, you got McCaffrey with the 1.1.
See, I'm already winning. I posted a poll at the beginning of this live stream that says, who will be the most valuable by the end of the year? And I wanted people to think non-serial numbered, rookie auto, raw, average. From my research right now, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison are all about the same, about $180. We've got 37 votes. So if you haven't cast your vote, make sure you cast your vote. Right now, Jamar Chase is actually winning by a small percentage over Marvin Harrison Jr. And then only 22% of y'all said that Christian McCaffrey would be the most valuable by the end of the year. And Christian McCaffrey, of course, the most valuable at the end of this past year. People are very bullish on Jamar Chase. And, man, I'll tell you what, Steve, I tried to find some Jamar Chase, some good Jamar Chase cards to buy to get into, but it's the consensus votes, they don't lie, man. His stuff is super expensive.
You know, it's interesting because we when we looked at it earlier in the year, when we were comparing like Justin Jefferson optic hollows to Jamar Chase's,
Wow.
Jamar Chase higher end cards are still quite expensive. But if you look, you know, downward at the more liquid stuff like the silver prisms, optic hollows, things of that nature, relatively inexpensive. So that does make for a good entry point, whether you're you know, have a little bit more money to spend or not, because I think ultimately those do go up, and it does actually present an opportunity to buy like a 10 of any of those as well.
I think I'm going to go running back here. I get nervous that the Rams are going to draft a running back and maybe Kyron won't have quite the same role. It's a new coordinator this year, but still Sean McVay's system, so I shouldn't be. I should just roll. And they did juice up that offensive line so much already. I should just roll with it. I just have a feeling if the Rams draft a guy that's got some juice, that could create some interesting competition for Kyron. He's a guy I could see kind of going down in ADP after the draft. The only thing I get a little nervous about there. But to be able to right now, if he does dodge the draft, I'm loving this double tap here of Kyron Saquon at the back end of the front turn. What happened, Steve?
Filthy said Barkley going for 3K.
Woof.
Saquon 3K, nickname, trademark it.
Let's see what everybody did. All right, Tony's going Puka, Devon. A-Chain in the second is an interesting one. Both second-year players going with second-year players. Hitman going with some tried and true veterans at this point. Some third and fourth-year players, Amon-Ra and Ayuk. Very spicy. What is, let's see what I got here.
Models of consistency. Derek's got Jamar, Devontae. I do like the Kyron Barkley double tap. I mean, if you look, I mean, look, Andy, compared to last year, how many running backs have already gone in the first round and a half?
It's way more impressive than it was last year. Like almost everybody was going 0 RB, you know, and it's still wide receiver heavy. But I'm actually impressed with how many. I think this is the highest I've seen Malik Neighbors go. Yes, I've seen Marvin Harrison Jr. been going pretty early. Goes to the beginning of the second here. But now you got Malik Neighbors sneaking into the second round. So it's kind of interesting to see how the draft hype plays a role into this. I mean, we're like in peak draft hype territory here. Malik Neighbors.
I gotta ask your opinion on something here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Keenan Allen fan. You know, I was very excited when the Bears acquired Keenan Allen. I still have mixed feelings about what our quarterback situation is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be officially, but if it's Caleb Williams and everyone seems to think that he's the second coming, if that's true, why would people be down on Keenan Allen? That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just ambiguity. I think Keenan Allen's a buy just by being on the Bears now and his resume. I mean, he's a good receiver. He's a great route runner. And the thing is, I think it's ambiguity, and it's the fact that I think both the values of DJ Moore and Keenan Allen are going to be suppressed, especially as you guys are. Some people have you guys projected to draft a receiver in the first round because you have so much draft capital. So you pretty much locked in. It seems like everybody's got you guys locked in on Caleb, but they've also got you guys speculated to draft another receiver in the first rounds, which is even more target competition for Keenan Allen. You know, DJ Moore is an absolute beast, so he's gonna eat, like he's gonna command targets. Keenan Allen's gonna command some targets. Obviously, he's good, really good. I don't think he's as good as DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean Keenan Allen, despite the resume, just never gets the love that he deserves. I mean, he at one point he was the top receiver in the league. You know, but most of the way through, what did he finish as, like the wide receiver 4, something like that? So, and then the interesting thing about DJ Moore is people are like, oh, you know, he had one good year, blah blah blah. I mean, the guy has put up great years with some of the worst QB play known to man. And let's be honest, he had his best season last year with people saying it was the best QB he's ever played with. I got some bad news for you. Justin Fields, as far as a quarterback goes, was not very good. So if Caleb is, in fact, a good passer, those numbers could actually be beaten yet again.
I'm going robust RB here, brother. He's at the turn taking DK Metcalf and Travis Etienne. So got me a core wide out, but also hitting on another bell cow RB. But yeah, I think overall, like, they're trying to set Caleb up for success in his rookie year, especially after the way y'all's defense finished, you know. And I think that I think the Commanders are definitely going to go Jaden Daniels, although there's a ton of speculation around Drake May and JJ McCarthy. But Jaden Daniels just gives you the most pro ready. Like, they were comparing his amount of reps and pass attempts compared to JJ and Drake May. The closest one, I think, was Drake May at like 700 and something pass attempts. Jaden Daniels has 1,500 pass attempts over his college career.
Yeah,
plus he gives you an incredible. Years, right? Yeah, plus he gives you an incredible instant rushing upside like Lamar Jackson. So, yeah,
I will say that he's done some nice things on tape. The one red flag for me from the stuff I've seen is he makes some really weird errors, and kind of like I've seen him on a few plays, like jump in the air out of nowhere when he's about to get hit by a linebacker, and it's like it just seems strange to me. Like, it's the kind of thing that with a pro level hit is going to be pretty painful.
So I'm glad you finally accepted that you guys are going to draft Caleb Williams, and you're going to have to.
I'm still not convinced, but I mean, obviously it's a high probability, but I was bringing it up for conversation purposes because I see a lot of people that I know in real life, obviously Bears fans here, I hear other channels, other podcasts say that, you know, Keenan Allen should have a down year, and DJ Moore will have a down year, and all these other things. And I'm like, based on what? Then there's no rationale. On one hand, they're saying that Caleb Williams is the next best thing known to man, and then they're saying that these two elite receivers will have a down year. Explain. You had Justin Herbert having one of his most mediocre seasons in his career, and you had Justin Fields having just an absolute awful season. As far
maybe
as
guys are going to hand the ball off a ton. You know, you already had a deep RB room, and then you bring in Swift as well. Maybe you guys are just going to pound the ball, and there's going to be a significant, run to pass ratio in favor of the run, and play conservative because your defense ended the year really well. Hey, you got some playmakers on defense.
It's only gotten better this year too.
Yeah. So I wonder, you have a defensive-minded head coach too in Matt Eberflus. So I wonder, but you got to think that if Caleb's going to be any good, they'll start to open it up because you're in a very competitive division. Your opponents are going to score points. Packers, Vikings, Lions, you're playing all of them twice a year. They're going to score a bunch of points. They're going to score on you guys. You guys are going to have to get aggressive, make some plays, open things up.
It's interesting, Andy, that if you're a Bears fan, you're excited that they've improved so much on the defense and they've got more weapons on offense. But every other team in the division has gotten better too. So, will it be enough is the question that's on everyone's mind. I think at this point, it's going to really come down to, with Minnesota, what they opt to do at QB. I mean, if they stay with Darnold, it's just a pure question mark at this point. How well will he do? And if they do take a QB, I guess it's still a question mark unless they trade up to 2 or 3 because you have a relatively unknown commodity in J.J. McCarthy who can make big plays, just doesn't have a lot of them to show for his career. I'm 5 picks away on both drafts, so I'm like trying to get some guys queued up here just to make sure.
Yeah, I queued a guy up, but I did let the queue pick him because I was thinking about my next pick.
I will say this: I think it's actually keeping me more on my toes having the double box here.
It should. It's challenging, man, especially with the picks going 30 seconds. I ended up going Dalton Kincaid, Terry McLaurin. I feel like Dalton Kincaid's targets per route run only goes up with the departure of Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Even if they draft a wide receiver, especially at his second year after how he finished last year. And then I hope that they continue to use him more and more as a receiver. And then Terry McLaurin's still wide receiver 1, easy. And I think if you look at the range he's going in, I mean, this is just getting egregious. I get it. Brian Thomas had that crazy good touchdown ratio. He's a big body wide receiver, but we don't know where his landing spot is. And Terry McLaurin going after him, going after Jaden Reed with all those weapons on Green Bay, going after Zay Flowers in that offense, going after Pickens. I don't know, man. It feels like Terry McLaurin is being way undervalued right now.
Yeah, he is another guy that's just a victim of just terrible quarterback play, man. So I do think that he definitely bounces back. And again, just like every other receiver, they're at the will of the quality of pass thrown their way. But I think any of the top 3 quarterbacks are an immediate improvement.
Kincaid won me a dynasty league this past year, and I was not going to draft him, but actually I consulted the almighty wise Derek Richard, and he said, yeah, take Kincaid there. And so I did, and it worked out because I was poo-pooing on taking Kincaid last year. If
you remember, Andy, quite a bit before the draft last year, that's a guy that we looked at quite a bit, and his playmaking skills and his receiving skills, more downfield stretch receiver. We did anticipate him being used out of the slot quite a bit, which he did, and basically fully supplanted Dawson Knox, which people are like, oh, well, Bills are screwed. They need a receiver. I don't think so. I mean, they still have him, right? And they still picked up a receiver via free agency. So I think they'll be good.
So what are we doing here? Late Stick is on a running back run. Started out Bijan at number 3 overall, then brings it back with Diggs at the end of the second. ADP up for Diggs in Houston now. Mike Evans early 3rd. All right, seems about par for the course for Mike Evans over his career. He always exceeds the ADP. CJ Stroud, he gets a little stack going in the 4th. And then the 5th, he goes Pacheco. Okay, pretty good value for Pacheco. Then Aaron Jones in Minnesota at number 70 overall feels like a steal. Feels like Aaron Jones. Ambiguity, Steve. Minnesota, though, you got to love that landing spot for Aaron Jones. Pick 70, that feels great. Like if you've waited on running back and you haven't got a running back until the 4th or 5th round even, and he's getting them in the 6th. I mean, you got I personally see like Tony over here picks Raheem Mostert at 57. I know the touchdowns from last year are tantalizing, but I'm going Aaron Jones there over Mostert. What about you, Steve? Oh, we lost Steve. What happened? How long have you been gone?
Oh, not too long.
Oh, okay.
I had one of those random monitor glitches where like it tweaks out on me and then kicks me out of everything. So we back.
Steve went to grab his Caleb Williams PJs.
Well, first it was a different QB. Now it's Caleb. I must have an awful lot of PJs, man.
Did you hear my question about Raheem Mostert at 57 versus Aaron Jones at 70? So he's a little bit cheaper there. Which would you rather have?
Aaron Jones at 70, or what was the other one?
Raheem Mostert at 57.
Probably Aaron Jones. Probably Mostert's obviously got a ton of value, but
yeah,
he did dodge the injury bug this year, and you got to figure that A-Chain will be featured a bit more as long as he stays healthy. So, plus you're getting him like a whole round and a half later. He's gonna show up with his Caleb jersey next week. Oh man, I would love to have a up-to-date Bears jersey, but these guys just go through teams too quick these days. Anytime you buy a jersey, the guy's already on a new team.
Give me some Najee Harris there. Now, this cat right here, this rookie wide receiver that's about to go off the board, A.D. Mitchell, he's a beast, man. I think he's a guy that I was like, oh, man, this guy's going to be good just from a physicality standpoint. But cards are very expensive as a result. I mean, this guy is like almost has like a DK Metcalf profile off the board. That's how like much of an athlete he is. 6'2", 205 pounds, and still runs a 4.34. I'm like, good Lord, are you kidding me? The question is, I think, can he convert at the pro level in terms of there's some route running questions from what I hear, a little bit of route running speculation. Love to see what Gabe Davis has got to say about A.D. Mitchell in the chat. But, I mean, looks like a monster. Looks like he could be a serious force in the NFL. But, you know, we said that about other guys in the past. Didn't exactly convert.
Yeah. You know, I think that the thing that worries me about him specifically is I keep seeing people like connecting him to the Chiefs and all this stuff, and they're talking about how great he'd be on the Chiefs.
I think he's going to get picked earlier than that, dude.
But what if he doesn't go to the Chiefs? What if he goes to the Giants? You know what I mean? Everyone wants to see these guys go to the best team possible, but that's a little too wishful thinking.
I think he might get picked earlier than the Chiefs, unless the Chiefs move up. But this is, deep wide receiver class, so
Yeah.
we'll see. But I mean, he
Samuel.
looks really good.
You got Andy. You got to be pretty hyped for the Curtis Samuel acquisition, would you not be?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think a lot of people just forget because he has been in the league for what, like 5 or 6 years. He's really not that old, and the guy's actually got a great profile, great draft capital. He's been pretty much quarterback proof. He missed like an entire year and a half due to like some core injuries. It was like tore some kind of ab muscle or something. But I mean, look at that. I mean,
he's another example of a guy that's had to play with some bum QBs.
Yeah. For the ADP, I mean, the air yards have been pretty crazy before 2019. The Panthers 1,500. So I think it's got to go up. So he finished at like 48 last year in fantasy points per game. I think he's capable more of like that 15 fantasy point per game average this year, especially with Buffalo. There's definitely going to be some spike games in there where it's like you definitely want to have him in best ball, and you spending a 9th or 8th round pick on him. It feels like, yeah, you're spending a pretty cheap amount of money to get a high upside play.
Brock Purdy off the board.
And you could do that with his rookie cards, optic rookie autos. Pretty cheap, man. I sold mine for I think like $35. Like I sold on the news on the spike. But I think I might have a couple more. Did you sell your Silver Prism rookie ticket autos of him yet?
I did not. I was not home much this week, but I got 4 of them sitting here, and I'm ready to get them up.
MW.
Not that I don't think that the values can potentially still grow during the season. I've got not a lot into them, so I don't need to squeeze every single penny out of it.
MW with a big question here. I'm going to start up because I'm about to pick in 2 picks, and this is totally going to make me auto pick. I can't auto pick, man. There's one thing worse than being wrong.
Yeah, make your
auto picking.
Pick first.
There's one thing worse than being wrong, Steve. Auto picking. We don't auto pick on this channel. This is a non-auto picking channel. And Brundeasy is not making it easy on me, as he just took Jonathan Brooks at the 107. So I got some thinking to do here. Eckler's out there. Trey Benson's out there. Zach Moss now in Cincinnati's out. Caleb Williams is out there. Do I have a guy to put him with? No. I gotta go do something here. Go Austin Eckler. Crap. Okay. I don't need any more running backs, though. That's for sure. Cortland Sutton is still the alpha in Denver. It's not a bad move there. I think I'm gonna wait. I do need more wide receivers badly, like number one wide receivers.
You got some running backs, bro.
I'll go Sutton. Yeah, I have. I'm stacked at running back, like literally stacked. I don't think I'm gonna draft another running back. Okay. So MW. See, the thing is, there's been streaks where I was getting a lot right. There's also been streaks where I've been wrong. I definitely feel like I've been more correct versus wrong on my player predictions. Probably some guys in the chat that have been around the channel since the beginning of 2020. The thing is, we try and analyze the entire player pool of the NFL. we're talking, just this draft alone, like skill position players and quarterbacks and stuff. It's like a player pool of 350 players. So, but there have been times when people were like, I can't believe how many of your picks have panned out. Like I was just crushing it left and right. There's also been times where I wasn't getting anything right for like at least a month there, at a time. There's been a couple times like that where I was like missing. And it's typically, one of my biggest flaws, I would say, when I've been wrong is focusing too much on recency bias during the season. I do better in the off season planning for the season, Steve. During the season, I do get caught up in a little bit of recency bias. I will say I've definitely been more correct heading into the season, like in the off season. Like look at last off season as a prime example. But during the season, on a week-to-week basis, I do tend to get caught up in recency bias a little bit, and it bites me. So,
yeah, I mean, obviously we don't have exact numbers. You legitimately have to go back and watch every weekly stream for 2.5 years, but
do it.
I would say a relatively high percentage that we do well on, and I think the ones that we don't get right, we're not really that gung ho about. There's definitely some guys that seemed like they'd pan out their rookie year that we said looked like they were falling into a good team, good situation, but they didn't pan out. And usually, unless we're really, really flag planting a guy, we're not really making a big deal about him that much. So everyone's going to mention a guy in passing, but there's guys that week in and week out we bang the drum on, and those guys have really panned out.
Yeah.
Nico Collins, Amon Ra, those guys 100%.
Yeah, so if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say like in the off season, heading into the season, I'd be like 65% correct, 35% wrong. And then during the season, it would probably balance out. It's a little bit closer to 50-50.
Josh Palmer. Yeah. No,
we've hit on a lot of players.
I would make a safe estimation that it's, I'm not saying 99. I'm saying it's over 50 for sure, though.
Oh, MW. Let's go, man. He says he does data analytics for a profession, and I think you're above 50% if I'm tuning in still after 2+ years. Let's go. That's music to my ears, man. I love that feedback. So he's quizzing us, but he's been around for a while, man. Digging the content. And yeah, if he is a data analytic guru and he's still here after 2 years, that's good. That means we've gotten more right than wrong. And it's really like I try and stick to the process. Like what's his name? Pete Overzet jokes about it. He's got that in his intro, but it's true. You stick to the process of how you try and find the breakout players, the guys that are going to break out, and you stick to the process more often than times. You're gonna get more right than wrong.
Whoops! I made my first mistake of the double boxing.
Yeah. Palmer's a solid play, and he had his moment where it's like, man, he was. You could have sold him for a nice little profit in the hobby too.
Yeah, but you know what? The wildest part of it is his best year could still be this year without Keenan Allen there.
Oh, snap. No. Who am I going to pick? Trevor Lawrence? Jaden Daniels? Trevor Lawrence. Well, I do have Travis Etienne, so it's not a total loss. And we're going to go ahead and assume Jaden Daniels is going to the Commanders. We're going to double tap quarterback here. This is all planned, Steve. This is no auto picking going on here. It's all planned, part of the plan. Got a little bit of an ADP value on Jaden Daniels. Doesn't make any sense at all. Trevor Lawrence does make sense. He's on the thumbnail because I'm finding a lot of just random Trevor Lawrence Project X cards, illusions. Trevor Lawrence. Nobody's bidding on him. Trevor Lawrence literally has 1,005,000 cards, and really, really flamed out bad last year. But then there's still a lot of people, you know what the cards they're bidding on for Trevor Lawrence? The rookie autos, the color match serial numbered cards, the cards that are in PSA 10 slabs because 2021 had such a horrible conversion rate.
Game calling you on here.
Yeah. Hey, I thought I did it smooth enough that I could have got it past him, but
your slider at the top seems to have moved back several rounds.
my slider, some sliders sound pretty good right now, man.
Yeah, we are in fact in the 12th round. You were on the 4th round.
We're in the 12th. All right. I might have to pack some sliders. You know, 1 week from tonight, it's going to be night 1 of the NFL draft, Steve.
It's coming quick.
It's coming quick. I'm hoping to get a guest appearance by Carter the Power.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have you on here as usual, Steve. We'll be calling out the picks with the pick is in. Do we have it? We have all those goofy sound effects still, but
No, I'm pretty excited. I'll definitely have to get me some caffeine. Have to do some beers on draft night.
you have to have some beers. Okay, so you know we gotta shout out Empowered Men here. You know I'm down over 50 pounds here. I'm between like 195 and 197, and really really good. I'm getting into some pretty good shape. And the thing is, I haven't drank alcohol in forever, man. I have not had more than I had like half a glass of red wine back on New Year's Eve. It's the last time I drank.
Andy's gonna be blacked out after one IPA.
So if I had some beers, y'all are gonna see me get really toasted really quick.
Too funny. Okay. Well, that worked out the way I wanted it to.
Man, this draft is going quick.
You'll have to pull your other squad up after this one.
Yeah, see what got auto picked.
Yeah, the other one's almost over.
There it is. What I was looking for. Oh yeah, Steve. Get used to that sound right there. Can't wait. All right. Let's see. We're back on the clock. We've got one tight end. That's it. Got the Fryer Moose up. Mims legit. I like. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and take by ADP here. Man, it's kind of a tough pick here. Brandon Cooks, Xavier Legette. Don't know the landing spot, but he's pretty solid. Or Mims in the second year with no Judy, new quarterback. Probably the veteran Cooks. Probably Cooks.
You can't go wrong with Fryermuth, man. I mean, the guy
Dallas is going to have to air out.
You have to remember who was throwing this guy the ball, bro. I mean, he's going to be just fine.
Filthy says to get some high noons. Was that like lower calories?
Yeah, actually, when I'm training, that's the only thing I'll drink. That and red wine. That's seltzer water with alcohol.
Oh, that's what high noons are?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to drink, I'm just going to drink, man. You know what? I've earned it, right? And I probably, because of my tolerance, I probably will only be able to get through like 2, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna pass out. Typically, if I'm drinking beer, it's just gonna end up making me. Eventually, it's gonna make me tired, you know. But if I'm drinking like tequila or something, then I get pretty wild. I don't get tired. Like that makes me like kind of wild. I don't know. Makes me louder. Like I'm like more, touchy feely. That's where you guys are lucky you're on the other side of a camera. I can't like hug you and put my arm around you and stuff.
You'll have to. It seems like anytime we get together in person, man, it turns into a booze fest. So we'll have to see what happens this summer.
No, that was fun, man. Yeah, we got pretty toasty that night too. That was a good time.
I couldn't believe that. I think we ripped like 4 or 5 beers during the stream, even not counting like everything we did beforehand.
I had to slow down and pace myself because I was sober up by the end of the night. But yeah, you were definitely feeling it. I mean, I was feeling good too at the beginning, but then I slowed down considerably. Yeah, that was a blast in the national, and this time we'll be in Cleveland, so it shouldn't be like $15 a beer. It should be more realistic. But I am looking forward to Cleveland. I've got a little bit of a refined strategy this year going into the national.
Yeah, and that makes sense because first time is just you're going in with unknown expectations.
Yeah, I did pretty good on the card buys, but got to bring more money this year, and gonna go after maybe some bigger cards, some even bigger cards, maybe some even bigger cash deals, and record some even bigger content. We'll be in the CGC booth for whenever we want. I probably maybe have a couple scheduled interviews or podcasts to do there. Yeah, skill position players equal deals. Filthy nailed it right here, man. You ain't kidding.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. That is going to be exciting. Let's see. All right, this other draft is about to end. And if you win that draft, then I don't know what to say. Anyone that's critiquing auto picks, Andy auto picked every single round in that other draft, by the way. For those keeping track, he's 19 for 19.
Thanks for reminding everybody, Steve. Now I'm getting canceled. It's all your fault, man.
No, he did set autopilot on.
Nice.
All right.
I'm back up.
Coming up. I just finished with my picks, so coming back around here.
Rondale Moore. Johnny Smith. Might go with Geno. I'll go with Geno Smith here. Add to my quarterback trio. Now I'm good at quarterback. Geno also stacks with DK. Now I can add in maybe John Yu in Miami. I think he's an interesting weapon down there for them. I do like Jawan. Actually, this Zay Jones pick is actually interesting to me as well because of Trevor Lawrence. Zay Jones is always good for a few spike games. What was his total line last year? He was pretty good.
The games he played, he was actually pretty efficient in, but he actually was hurt quite a bit. He had a knee injury, came back from the knee injury, hurt the same knee again, and that seemed to be like a reoccurring theme throughout the year.
Let's see. I want to pull him up on
Ooh.
Player Profiler.
Cordero Patterson.
Zay.
You know, Andy, this auto pick roster you picked pretty much drafted pretty similar to you would, in my opinion. Like the first 5 picks are guys you would have taken. They even took Ty Chandler. They took your guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Ain't that something? So okay. Well, he only played 9 games last year, but he did manage to put up 871 air yards. Now it only converted 321 receiving yards, so we had only a 50% catch rate. I'm guessing he's got some really poor quality targets from Trevor Lawrence a lot, like some just, hope and pray kind of throws from Trevor. But when you look at 2022, I mean, he put up almost 1,000 receiving yards. So he definitely paid off way, way above ADP in 2022. Wide receiver 31, put up 12.4 points per game. Last year, still 8.7 on the 9 games that he played. And I think if I remember correctly, Steve, he was definitely hurt in a couple of those. And he had some really weird game scripts last year for Jacksonville as well.
Yeah, I mean at his draft position, I feel like there's a ton of value there because you know the upside is there. Whether it's like a week to week thing or not is going to be most likely based on his health. But yeah, I mean you're not paying very much to get him, so it should be a guy that you potentially look at late in these drafts, like consistently.
Technically, Filthy, I misclicked one of those first picks. I think maybe both were misclicks. I mean, it's a technicality. I guess a misclick could be considered an auto pick, but
Andy, if you remember the first card we bought at the National last year was that Tua that we negotiated, the green one.
That Tua was money, dude. That thing netted me like a $200 profit on eBay. I smashed on that card. And I was like getting offers left and right, and I was just holding out. And I remember it paid off. Like I held out one more week, and someone just bought it full price. Like I was asking like $380 or something for it, and I bought it for like $150 or something like that.
That sounds right. Yeah,
such a steal. It's a beautiful color match. PSA 10, green velocity Tua. I mean, it was like it's pretty. That was a sick card. Yeah, that was a great process, man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami jumps out to another 3-0 start this year. It's kind of like their thing now, The Jalen Waddle didn't pan out. It was Tua and Tyreek all day, and then Mostert and A-Chain also. Waddle never did anything last year. Didn't pan out.
Considering that he kind of was a little bit hurt earlier in the year, I think he did okay, but I think that he'll bounce back. He's too good not to bounce back.
Yeah. And then I'm still holding my Breece Hall. So Breece Hall didn't pan out last year either, and then the whole Jets team was suppressed because of Rodgers getting hurt week 1. And Breece Hall was still a stud down the stretch, but it wasn't enough to overcome the whole just the whole Jets situation.
I mean,
and now I think
if Breece Hall had the 4 games that he finished with to start the year, Andy, I mean, the cash pile would have been this high. You know what I mean? But for those that have Brees cards going into this year, he's got a lot of forward momentum. And dude, earlier in the year when he got hurt, his prices were just dirt cheap. So, and I know someone earlier was mentioned about Brees Hall prices. Like, yeah, they took a hit. He got hurt pretty bad. And the way he finished the year, though, he could, if there's a guy that could dethrone McCaffrey for the rushing title this year, that's my pick.
I'm gonna go with this cat, Javon Baker. He went to. I know how much you like UCF.
Yeah,
receivers.
yeah,
He's an
dope.
interesting
I was
sleeper
watching some
rookie.
videos on him.
Wait, Will Shipley? Alexander Madison? Nope. Should I do it? Jatavion Sanders? I'm gonna piss Gabe Davis off so bad. He can't have him every draft. He can't have him every draft. You can't have him every draft, DB. And it's not. Look, it's a 6th pick. He wasn't coming back. It's late in the round, late in the draft.
Oh shit!
I needed a 3rd tight end too, to be fair. Like, it wasn't, if you didn't talk about him so much, if you weren't such a Jatavion Sanders truther, I wouldn't have picked him. But I gotta have some exposure to him. Gotta have some exposure.
You know what's one of the murkiest running back situations in the league, and it's if you just could draft a team running back situation like Cleveland would be a great one. They have too many running backs, like way too many running backs actually.
Gabe Davis, appreciate this super chat here. He said, thief in all caps. That was a want, not a need.
Oh, man.
See, you went with Johnny Wilson. Anyways, you went with Johnny Wilson, where you weren't even going tight end. I mean, you probably would have gone Jatavion Sanders. No, you're right. That was definitely a want, not a need. I'll agree. There's no needs here. I already had 2 tight ends. But wait, did I have 2 or 3? Now, if I had 3, that would be egregious. No, I only had 2. See, I had 2 tight ends, so that was,
Here, since you're talking about the man himself, Jatavion Sanders, who's a tight end needy team, Andy, that you think should look for a guy like him?
Well, the Jets are one that I think could benefit from a tight end. They've been linked to potentially drafting Brock Bowers, and they're definitely a team that needs a tight end there. They don't really have one. And then I think you look at the Bengals, I think they could really benefit from a good tight end as well, like a receiving tight end.
That, I think they're the team that has superstars in the lineup that could become insanely elite with Bowers, for example. I don't see them getting him without trading up. But I know the Jets have been linked to Bowers if he falls to 10, but I just don't see it happening, honestly. I know that the Chargers really want him.
And then what about the Panthers? I mean, I know Filthy's a Tommy Tremble truther out there. But I mean, Tommy Tremble is nothing special. Like, if they had a true dual threat tight end, receiving tight end, let Tommy block. I mean, the Panthers, more than pretty much any other team, really need a good tight end, a good safety security blanket for little Bryce Young.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy, especially because they have, a good receiver in Deontay Johnson now. So, but I think the Panthers, compared to any of the other teams we've mentioned, have, the Panthers have way more needs than tight end. So they may opt to hunt that position this year, or at least in the earlier rounds, and try to build the rest of the team up. But you never know. I mean, Bowers is going to be the name to get, but there's at least 2-3 other good tight ends in the draft.
But Bowers is strictly a receiver. Like, he is not a good blocker. Like, he's just not that big of a guy. Like, have you seen him up next to?
Well, he's a similar
next to Gronk.
Yeah, he's a similar like Sam Laporta. He's the same archetype, basically. Maybe a little more physical, but same play style. I agree. Yeah, no, he can block, but it's not really his. He's not a blocking tight end like there's other guys that's just their job, you know. Ben Sinnott, I know me and Gabe have talked about that guy. That guy actually I've watched some videos on. Is pretty good.
Oh, I'm on the clock. 7 seconds. Treylon Burks. Let's go Treylon Burks. And then let's go Alec Pierce. Your guy?
Alec Pierce.
No, we go Noah Brown. Noah Brown, or even Trey Tucker's still out here. Actually, I'm gonna go Trey Tucker.
Tucker's
ended up with 9 wide receivers, 5 running backs, 3 QBs, 3 tight ends. Yeah, I'm seeing Brock can still block, but
Andy, in spirit of Alec Pierce, we'll take Alec Pierce.
Wait, you took Pierce?
You could definitely do worse for the last pick. You know, the interesting thing about him is I hate to say it, but, you know, other than Pittman, there wasn't really a lot of looks anywhere else, and they didn't really throw a lot downfield because that's not really Minshew's style. But if Richardson's healthy, he could benefit from a lot more long balls. And in a best ball format,
he actually looks like he out. He actually looks like he out-angled him a little bit. But that is Brock Bowers right there at the Auto Trader shirt. Obviously got Gronk.
What an awesome shirt.
So Brock Bowers definitely seems a little nerdy. But yeah, he does look small. I mean, yeah, but the thing is, Gronk is clearly out-angling him here with the camera because he's standing at least like a couple feet
closer.
Yeah, a couple feet closer. So
Gronk is just a behemoth, man. He's a big guy.
He is. But they made it seem like Brock Bowers was smaller, like that much smaller than Gronk, and yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's more out-angling here.
Let's see. All right, Bowers is 6'4". They make him look like he's 5'9" in that picture.
Yeah, it's just that's out-angling.
So Gronk is let's see, where's his height? 6'6". He's only 2 inches taller, but you wouldn't know that by looking at that picture. It looks like a child and a grown-up standing next to each other.
All right. Derek finishing up the draft with Blake Watson. Lacey going Noah Brown. Like it. Filthy finished it up with Michael Penix. Let's go, baby. Hitman got his man Alec Pierce. Got some Frank Gore Jr. there at the end, too. Malik Washington. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this cat right here. Malik Washington has been been mentioned as a sleeper wide receiver target. I might have to snipe me a Malik Washington rookie card, man.
You should go check out your other team since you haven't seen it yet. What do they got? You got the profile there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up Malik
Some
Washington.
people are saying
out of
like
Virginia.
not saying he is the same guy, but similar to Tank Dell.
I mean, he was dominant at Virginia. Look at that. 98th percentile target share, 94th percentile college dominator. He's 23 years old, so a little bit of a late bloomer. But Zay Flowers comparable.
Yeah,
board.
I heard his name a little early in the game thanks to Derek, but the more I keep seeing mocks and see write-ups on receivers for this draft, the more his name keeps coming up.
So a little weak at tight end on that auto pick team, but I got Jake Ferguson and Mike Gesicki.
And you got Ladd. You got a lad, dude. He's going to be.
I did get Ladd McConkey, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, DJ Moore, Nico Collins, Jahan Dotson, Quentin Johnson, and Greg Dortch. Got Christian McCaffrey, Kamara, Javonte Williams, Zamir White, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler, Bucky Irving, and Lamar Jackson.
For an auto draft team, that's actually a pretty good team, man.
Yeah, they actually stacked Zay Flowers with Lamar Jackson for me. I mean, I can't complain here at all, dude. Wow.
I'm telling you, if you win with that sheet, man, we got to throw a party.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, we are out of time tonight. I had a blast, Steve, and 1 week away out from the draft. So looking forward to kicking the draft live stream off. When does the draft start next week? Are we gonna?
I think 7. So if that is true, which I believe it does, then I will try to leave an hour early to be here at 7.
All right, 8 p.m. There we go.
Well, 8 p.m. I believe 8 p.m. your time, right? So 7.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Yeah. Okay.
Pick one on the board. Caleb Williams. Don't want to miss it. The real fun starts after pick one, right? Because then the whole thing kicks off with J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr. The fireworks are gonna be crazy. We're gonna break it all down, man. We'll see you there.
Yeah, get some caffeine in you, bro. And so why don't you, after we go off the air tomorrow morning, set up the stream, start pumping out some shorts, get people in here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts right now, man.
Pump some more of them out.
All right, y'all. We'll see you then.
All right, everyone. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.